It always starts as a joke. Say her name 3 times in the mirror. A game, a dare, a test of bravery under the flicker of candlelight. But the truth is, you don't say her name, you summon it. There's a reason urban legends survive generations, because they aren't just stories, they're warnings dressed as whispers. And the Bloody Mary story? It's not about a woman, it's about a ritual, a doorway, and the one foolish moment where curiosity becomes an invitation. They say you only have to do 3 things. Go into a dark room, light a candle, say Bloody Mary 3 times into a mirror. Easy, right? But what they don't say is this. By the time you say it the 3rd time, you're not the one looking into the mirror anymore. In our story, it started just like this. 3 friends, 1 phone flashlight, a bathroom in an abandoned building. They thought they were chasing a thrill, but something else was chasing them. The first one laughed. The second one hesitated. The third one, she didn't believe at all. But when her voice echoed Bloody Mary the 3rd time, the candle didn't flicker. It snuffed out. No wind, no breath, just cold. Heavy, wet, cold, like the air was soaked in grief. Because this isn't a game, it's a binding. Every word you say in front of the mirror is an offering. And if you say her name without respect, if you say it just to prove you're not scared, you've already given her permission. She doesn't want your scream. She wants your face, your memory, your place in the mirror. You see, the dare isn't scary because something might happen. It's terrifying because something always does. It might not be right away. You might laugh, walk out, call your friends stupid. But that night, the mirror in your bedroom will fog from the inside. You'll hear soft scratching from behind the glass. And when you finally look, the reflection will lag just a second, just enough to make you question it. That's the first sign. The mirror no longer belongs to you. You gave it away with your voice, with your arrogance, with your disbelief. And now, she's waiting, not to attack, but to trade places. Because every time someone says her name, she grows clearer, stronger, more real. And every time you look into the mirror, you look a little less like yourself. This isn't about proving bravery. It's about respecting the veil. Some names were meant to be forgotten. Some faces were never meant to be seen again. And some dares are actually rituals in disguise. So the next time someone says, say it 3 times, it's just for fun. Ask yourself, what if it works? Because no one ever survives to say what happens next. They just vanish into the mirror, and something else walks away in their place. A mirror is supposed to reflect, but what if it remembers? What if every time you looked into it, something was looking back? We think mirrors are lifeless, glass, silver, reflection. But ancient cultures didn't see them that way. They saw mirrors as portals, thin veils between worlds, between light and shadow, between the living and the forgotten. And Bloody Mary? She never died. She was trapped in mirrors, in obsidian, in the ritual that bears her name. Because she wasn't banished, she was bound by blood, by rage, by the whispers of her name spoken in fear. The mirror in that bathroom, it wasn't empty, it was waiting. Waiting for someone to look too long, to say too much, to believe just enough, because belief is a key. And when that key turns, the mirror becomes a door. And behind that door, she waits. Not as a ghost, not as a monster, but as something worse, a memory with a face and nowhere to go. In our story, after the dare was done, the girls laughed nervously. But when they turned to leave, the reflection in the mirror didn't move. They froze. One of them whispered, "Who's that in the back?" They were 3, but the mirror showed 4. The 4th didn't blink, didn't breathe, and her smile was carved too wide. That's when they realized the mirror isn't reflecting anymore. It's observing, and what it sees, it keeps. Their reflections were no longer theirs. Their faces began to shift, subtle at first, a flicker, a shadow behind the eyes, a delay in movement. But every time they looked into a mirror after that night, it looked a little less like them. Because when Bloody Mary marks you, she doesn't haunt your room, she haunts your image. And what is scarier than a ghost in your house? A ghost inside your mirror, watching, learning, waiting for you to forget that she's there, until one day you blink, and your reflection doesn't. You try to ignore it. You cover mirrors with blankets. You smash them. But it doesn't matter, because mirrors are everywhere. Phone screens, car windows, even puddles on rainy streets. She's not in one mirror, she's in all of them now. Because once she's been summoned, once her name has been spoken, she spreads. She doesn't want revenge, she wants replacement. She doesn't want to scream, she wants to be seen, to be believed again, to walk freely in your skin and leave you behind the glass. So next time you see a mirror and feel like your reflection is just a second too slow, or a smile that wasn't yours begins to stretch across your face, don't speak, don't move. And above all, don't say her name, because the mirror might not be empty, and the eyes you're looking into, they might already belong to her. Legends twist with every retelling, but the blood in her name was always real. So who was Mary? A witch? A queen? A murderer? Or a victim? The truth is more disturbing than any single tale. Because Bloody Mary isn't just one woman, she's the echo of all of them. Every woman wrongly burned, every girl silenced, every soul shattered in pain, with no one left to mourn her. You see, Bloody Mary is not a ghost with one origin. She's an accumulation of grief, of rage, of stories buried too deep to be told in daylight. Some say she was Queen Mary I of England, nicknamed Bloody Mary for the hundreds she executed in religious purges. But history is written by survivors, and survivors rarely tell the full truth. Others say she was Mary Worth, a woman accused of witchcraft, tortured, mutilated, and killed for knowing herbs, for helping women, for refusing to bow. Or maybe she was a nameless girl, locked in an asylum, scratching warnings into mirrors with broken fingernails while no one listened. In the end, it doesn't matter who Mary was. What matters is what she became. She became rage given form, a scream that never ends, a curse so strong it needed mirrors to hold it in. And every time her story is mocked, whispered at sleepovers, reduced to a party game, she grows stronger, because laughter doesn't break the curse, it feeds it. In our story, one of the girls tried to find out who Bloody Mary really was. She thought knowledge could protect her. She read every version: Queen Mary, Witch Mary, Mythical Mary. She thought if she understood, she could control it. But that's the final mistake. Understanding her story doesn't break her curse. It invites her deeper. That girl was last seen in the school library. The mirror behind her computer was shattered, but her seat was still warm, and the librarian swore she saw two girls walk in. Only one walked out, because Bloody Mary doesn't want to be understood. She wants to be feared. She isn't just the story. She's what's left when the story ends. The part no one can explain. The face in the mirror when the lights go out. The whisper in the silence after you've stopped screaming. You think you can trace her, prove she was real, give her a name, a date, a place, but the more you try, the more blurred she becomes. Not because her story is weak, but because it's shared, passed through generations, told in gasps, in warnings, in dares. She's no longer a person, she's a ritual. And rituals don't need a biography, they need believers. So who was Mary? She was the last face the mirror showed before the lights went out. She was the girl who screamed into glass and was never heard again. She was everyone no one listened to until it was too late. And now, she's the one listening to you. The next time you're near a mirror and think you hear your own name whispered, don't answer. Don't look, and never ever say hers, because she's already been summoned, and she remembers your face. There is no ghost more dangerous than the one you believe in. You can lock the doors, cover the mirrors, burn every trace of her name, but if the story lives in your mind, then so does she. Because Bloody Mary doesn't need a candle or a dark room, she needs your imagination. That's where the curse begins. Fear isn't a weakness, it's a signal. But obsession, that's how she gets in. They say the ritual doesn't work if you don't believe in it. But what they don't say is that the moment you ask, what if, you've already cracked the mirror from the inside. In our story, after the ritual was done, one of the girls left and laughed it off. But that night, she kept seeing her own reflection in places it didn't belong. In a blank TV screen, a turned-off phone, a puddle on the street, and each time, the face was slightly off. At first, she thought it was just her nerves. She told herself, "It's just in my head." And that's exactly where Mary wanted to be, because the mind is the only place she doesn't need to knock to enter. Bloody Mary is a psychological entity. The more you fear her, the closer she gets. The more you try not to think about her, the more she thinks about you. You see, the mind is a mirror too, and when that mirror breaks, there's no repairing it. People believe ghosts appear in the world, but Bloody Mary appears in your perception. You'll hear water running in the middle of the night. You'll see fingernail scratches in places no one could reach. You'll feel your own reflection watching you. And the worst part? No one will believe you, because they don't see her. Only you do. That's the genius of her curse. It isolates you. It convinces you that you're going insane. And maybe you are. Or maybe the mirror is just waking something up you've spent your whole life ignoring. We all have cracks, in memory, in identity, in belief, and she finds those cracks and pulls herself through. Have you ever stared into a mirror for too long, until your own face feels foreign, until your smile looks wrong, until you start wondering if you're the one inside the glass or outside? That moment, that sliver of doubt, that's her doorway. In our story, that girl stopped looking in mirrors completely. But it didn't help, because Bloody Mary doesn't need a reflection. She needs your attention, and once she's in your thoughts, she starts rewriting them. Your nightmares become hers. Your thoughts lose shape, and soon, you forget what your own face looked like before the night of the ritual. So don't wonder if the mirror curse is real. Don't ask if you're imagining it, because in doing so, you're giving her space. Not in your room, in your mind. And once she's in there, you won't need a mirror to see her anymore. She'll be behind your eyes, inside your voice. And every time you doubt your sanity, she'll whisper, "You called me. Now live with me." They call it a game, a dare, a spooky sleepover story for laughs. But a ritual, by any other name, is still a trap. The candle, the darkness, the mirror. The name spoken not once, but 3 times. These aren't just random elements, they're ancient keys, designed to unlock something you were never meant to meet. You don't summon Bloody Mary by accident. You follow steps in a certain order with a certain intention. That's what makes it work. That's what makes it dangerous. A girl in our story thought it was just an urban legend, so she lit the candle anyway, turned off the light, faced the mirror, and spoke the name. The first time, nothing. The second time, a whisper behind her. The third time, everything changed. She tried to laugh it off, but the candle flickered violently, then extinguished in a breath of ice. The air thickened, not like fog, but like presence. Heavy, intentional, watching. She thought it was over, but it had just begun, because the ritual isn't about what you do. It's about what she hears. Candles have been used for centuries to guide spirits. Mirrors have always been doorways. Names are ancient tools of invitation. Put them together, and you're not playing a game. You're signing a contract. And the worst part? You don't know the rules, but she does. Here's how it works. The candle draws her. The darkness feeds her. The mirror reflects your offering, and the name binds you to her. Each step is a thread, and by the time you finish the third repetition, you're wrapped in her web. What if the ritual isn't summoning her at all? What if she's already everywhere, and the ritual is just how you tell her, I'm ready. Ready to see her, ready to be seen, ready to trade fear for proof. But once you light that candle, you're no longer in control. You've said the words, you've broken the silence, and now she gets to speak. Not in words, but in flickers, cracks, visions, dreams that feel like memories, and reflections that feel like lies. In our story, after the ritual, the girl's phone screen would randomly turn on and show the camera even when she wasn't touching it. She'd wake up with her mirror moved. The glass would have handprints on the inside, and when she finally tried to undo it, to break the mirror and throw it away, the cracks formed a smile. Because here's the truth. You don't break a ritual, you complete it. And once you've started it, you're simply walking the steps to the end. There is no reverse. There is no reset. There is only her, and she is very patient. So the next time someone says, let's try the Bloody Mary challenges for fun, know this. It's not a game, it's a door. And the moment you speak her name 3 times, you've already walked through it. Most stories end when the ghost appears, when the mirror cracks, when the lights go out. But Bloody Mary's curse begins when she comes. You called her, you summoned her, you followed every step of the ritual, and now she's here, but not the way you expect. She doesn't scream, she doesn't run at you with blood and blades. That's too easy, too fast. Mary doesn't haunt like a monster, she haunts like a memory. Slow, soft, unrelenting. In our story, after the final whisper of her name, the mirror cracked but no face appeared. No shadow, no scream, just silence. The kind of silence that's full, like something was in the room holding its breath. The girl thought she had escaped. But Bloody Mary isn't bound by reflection, she is bound by recognition. And once she sees you, once she knows your face, you are marked. What happens next isn't loud. It's subtle, psychological, inescapable. You'll forget little things. Where you left your phone, whether you turned the light off, whether that reflection you saw earlier really smiled. You'll feel eyes on you even when you're alone. You'll hear water dripping behind mirrors that were never connected to plumbing. You'll see movement in the corner of your eye, not outside, but inside the glass. She doesn't want to kill you, she wants to change you, to erase you. Not with blood, but with replacement. She begins to mimic your thoughts, to shadow your voice, to match your gestures until you're not sure who's echoing who. The girl from our story, she stopped recognizing herself in the mirror, not just because she looked different, but because her reflection moved first. Smiled when she didn't, stared when she blinked. That's when the dream started. In every one, she was inside the mirror, trapped, screaming behind the glass, and watching herself on the outside, living her life. But it wasn't really her. It was Mary wearing her like a mask. That's the real horror. Not that Bloody Mary comes, but that she stays. Not in your room, not in your mirror, but in you. Every time you pass a reflection, you'll flinch. Because you know she's still in there, just waiting for your will to break. And when it does, she doesn't take your life, she takes your place. And no one notices because she's perfect. She remembers your laugh, your habits, your tone. But behind the eyes, isn't you anymore? It's a curse you can't escape because it doesn't kill you, it simply forgets you. The lights will stay on, your phone will ring, you'll smile for photos, but you will be gone, replaced by the one you dared to call, the one you invited with your voice, the one who doesn't need chains or spells, just a mirror and your belief. So what happens after she comes? Nothing. And that's the point, because by the time you realize what she's done, you're already watching from the other side.